everybody who was there
Yeah, that's very
stops
special.
and they're like, who is that?
Yeah.
Why are they landing in a helicopter?
You would go to the 𝐏𝐸𝐥, which is kind of like similar area to where it is now, but not, and like you would look down, and that was like the horse jumping. That you would look having dinner, and it's like, oh, and there's the horse jumping. So
We're at the border of Vancouver,
Yeah.
Greater Vancouver area,
Exactly.
and we host most of the Vancouver teams now. We have the Greater Vancouver Zoo
Yes.
and Greater Aldergrove.
Yes.
I was thinking, okay, to go on a wine tour, you might have to go to the 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐸𝐺 or something
Yeah.
like that, but you have one literally here.
Yes.
Welcome. This is live from Langley BC, the #1 podcast in Langley, where we talk to local Langley residents and business owners about local Langley events and businesses. Today's guest is the Executive Director of Tourism Langley, the organization that helps bring awareness to businesses in the Langley Township area. Thanks so much for coming today, Erin. Can't wait to get into the food that you've brought here today and the wine. This is the first wine tasting officially. We've had some craft breweries, we've had some pizzas, but this is the first artisan pizza I feel like we're going to try. So first things first though, Tourism Langley. I mentioned, it brings awareness to businesses, but what exactly is it that you guys do aside from that?
What do we do? So we always say we are responsible for bringing awareness of like the Township of Langley as a visitor destination. But we say that, but at the same time, we are equally a resident resource as well. Because what visitors are interested in, residents are interested in, and vice versa. So whether it's like live music going on at a brewery or the Fort Langley Jazz Festival, like a 3-day event, both are interested in that. So it's just our job to make sure that everybody's aware about what's going on, what there's to do and see in the Township of Langley.
Totally. And that's why I started this podcast, because I've been here for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And in that time, I've missed so many events, and then I didn't even know they happened until you'd see them on social media a week later when someone posts about it. And you're like, wow, when is that happening? Oh, it was last weekend. Well, okay, now I missed that. So having this podcast and collaborating with organizations like you, I'm excited that hopefully we get to pick up a few more people for those events that might have missed it because, sometimes they don't get that exposure that they need, right? So you guys work with all Langley Township, and so you guys are aware, and I just learned this as well, right? There's Langley Township, obviously, and then there's Langley City. So two different city councils, two different tax brackets for property taxes, and now also two organizations. The other one, Discover Langley, which we'll be on in a later episode. But today, how far does Langley Township kind of spread? So you can expand on that.
So Langley Township, it's a big area. So the population of the township is about almost 150,000 people. So something that people don't realize when they say, okay, we are the Township of Langley. So that includes Aldergrove, Fort Langley, and so the township is made up of, it's the community of communities. So there's 7 different districts, which includes those. And so those are all part of the township. And then the city sits sort of like as a piece of that, which is about 4 square miles in the middle. So we're going out all the way like Surrey on one side, or Abbotsford on the other, and then to the Fraser River. So it's pretty big.
So you probably know a little bit then about the township in particular when it comes to population and size. You mentioned 150,000 people. Do you know how many new people come and visit the township?
Goodness. So not exactly. We've done some studies, and so you take the Fort Langley National Historic Site as a big attraction, or the Greater Vancouver Zoo, and they know what their numbers are, but it's not something we've been able to pinpoint yet, but something that we're working on is to be able to say, okay, how many people are coming, and are they coming for the day? Are they staying the night? We have about 850 hotel rooms in the Township of Langley, and lately, all 850 are full. So
all year round.
Not quite. I mean, we're seeing it. There used to be what would be called the shoulder season. And you would say okay, between October and April, things were a little bit quieter. And that's moving. So now, we've had some huge hockey events at the event center. A lot of big events that are coming there are catching up. In the summer, you have Thunderbird Show Park. And so, there was times in January where we were sitting, all of the hotel rooms were pretty much full. So, and that 5 years ago probably would not have been the case. So yeah, we're seeing it get busier and busier and busier from visitors coming to.
Right. And then do you know anything about future hotels coming here?
Yeah. So actually just down the road, so it was announced a long time ago before COVID, but Marriott has said that they're going to build a dual property just down there, which will be amazing with proximity to the event center. When they announced it, obviously it was before COVID, so now things are a little bit delayed. So we haven't heard the most up to date as to when it's going to be, but it's going to have extra meeting space and about 260 more rooms. So we're very excited about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a telltale sign that we're starting to see a lot more people coming through Langley.
Yes.
And it's interesting because, you know, there's different angles that people are coming through. And one of them, obviously, we host a ton of Vancouver named.
Yes.
Funny enough, like we're out of all the cities.
The Vancouver FC, the new soccer team that's coming, and then the Vancouver Bandits basketball that came last year. So we embrace it. We are more than happy to have them here.
Yeah, and I love touching on that because a lot of people are always wondering, well, where is the biggest up and coming city? And aside from Surrey, because of the demographic and how fast they're growing, Langley is the fastest growing in the last 6 years, I believe, in terms of homes and people coming in. Do you know by any chance how many people have come recently?
I don't know off the top of my head. I know there is a statistic, but like I said, we've been using a much smaller number, like more like 130 or 140 of population. But now I just heard in a councilman, like they're saying close to 150. So we've made that leap. I mean, we go down 200th Street, like all of the growth here.
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah. It's incredible. I was born and raised in Langley. So
nice. Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Aldergrove and Murrayville. And so it's like, I was laughing when I saw the sign outside that Agency Media has. It's like, this all used to be a forest. And I'm like,
oh, everybody thinks so.
Yes. Like, oh, that's the hill I used to like toboggan down with my brothers. And it's certainly changed a lot. But yeah.
What did you do for fun when you grew up in Aldergrove and
what did we do for fun?
Something that you still see maybe, or something that you can't do anymore.
We played like a lot of sports, and I mean we always got our driver's licenses like super early because kind of like okay we needed to go off and be able to drive around Langley, and just kind of hanging out with our friends and sports and more that like wide open spaces. And then I mean honestly we would also like theater sports in Vancouver. Like that was like okay we're going to escape to the big city and go check out theater sports. I mean and now probably like my kids don't necessarily have to like do that all the time. There's like way more here than there used to be.
Yeah, Langley and Abbotsford, there's a ton of events that come out this way now, and you don't have to go all the way down there and sit in traffic and pay $30 for parking.
Yeah, you can just do it right in your own backyard.
Yeah. Do you know anything about else about the sports that have come in any way?
I mean, so obviously, hockey being huge, you've got the Vancouver Giants, you've got that play out of the event center, then you have the Langley Rivermen and the Langley Trappers that play out of George Preston, and then the Aldergrove _𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐺 that play out of the Aldergrove Arena. So, I mean, like, that's all spectator
There's a new arena
hockey.
in Aldergrove.
Yes, so that's the Aldergrove Arena, and it's got the pool there as well, which is incredible, the Otter Co-op outdoor experience.
Yeah.
So it's got the arena, it's got the pool.
Is the arena a part of that rec center?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I remember playing hockey at the barn.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It was like the Blue Barn, or I don't even. That's what I remember. Just behind there. I don't know what street it was.
But now it's a really nice, and so that's where the Aldergrove _𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐺, who are junior B hockey team, so they play out of there during hockey season, and then you've got George Preston up in Brookswood, where you've got the Trappers and the Rivermen and the Giants from here, and then we mentioned the Vancouver Bandits, the professional basketball, so they came in last year. FC is coming in. And then, I mean, high school sports is huge at the event center as well, like massive basketball, volleyball championships that go on there, as well as like Trinity Western. So they're playing hockey, basketball. And then at the Municipal Athletic Park by Langley Secondary School. So last year we held national track and field championships there, and they're coming back again this year. It was a 2-year back-to-back event, and there's actually quite a few track and field events that are going to happen, sort of around before and after the nationals. And it was interesting, like just to hear that track is getting like really great recognition from track and field groups. It's a fantastic facility.
I thought that's where they were going to do the soccer team.
Okay,
because like the grandstands there.
Yes.
You just need to finish it off.
Yeah,
because they have the Rams that play there, but maybe that's
football,
why they don't want to clash on that.
Yeah, but no, so now we've got, when you go up 200th, you can see all of the stadium seating. It's looking fantastic.
Yeah, it's coming along. Yeah, it's coming along. It's almost, I'm part of the Fraser Valley Fanatics group.
Okay, yep.
So on there they post the updates, and Yeah, I can't wait to go. Like growing up playing sports as well,
Yes.
there was never sports around here.
Right?
Like I mean, none that I was aware of as a kid, right? But if I had been exposed to, a mid-tier level of, soccer, it would have been, life changing, I think,
Yes.
because the only other option is you have to go all the way to Burnaby at the time to watch the Whitecaps, who
Yep.
weren't really a team yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, having that right here, I can't wait to take my daughter there. She's
Yes.
gonna see that.
I know.
And for me, it's gonna be great to be able to just walk down the street, pretty much.
And there it is. Yeah. May 7th, I think, is the home opener. So I know there's still some tickets available, but I think that's going to be like really, really fun.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. And it's crazy how it's been received so far. The soccer community, obviously, it's a worldwide sport, but it's never been huge here in Canada until recently.
Yes. And then it's definitely, growing with all of Team Canada. And like I know Langley United, like minor soccer, is huge. And Langley minor hockey, same thing, like two of probably of like the largest minor leagues in the province.
Yeah, lots of accolades there.
That should be a good fan base.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So you talked about you talked about the George Preston Arena, and I didn't know till recently that they did a ton of upgrades there.
Yes.
And then now, obviously, we talked about Aldergrove. There's been a lot of upgrades there. So where does the funds for that come from? Is that allotted by the council, by the city,
So
municipal government, or?
those buildings, yes, for sure. Like they follow under the Township of Langley as a municipality,
Yeah.
that the funds are coming out of there. So Tourism Langley, we are a separate, like we are service provider to the Township of Langley for tourism.
Gotcha.
We are funded by it's called MRDT, which is very commonly done all over the world. So it's a room tax. So the hotels collect from their guests, and that's Tourism Langley's budget.
Okay.
But those, like the structural, that falls under like the municipality, the Township of Langley. So that would be in their annual budgets, that whether it's upgrades and things like the new buildings, like been talking about a new arena and new soccer fields, that all is under the municipality umbrella.
Right. And so those are all investments ultimately,
Yes,
because if
yeah.
you bring more people here, you get more taxes from people, and then it helps lower taxes in general, as from the sounds of it. And that's why, I don't know if you saw, but the last Langley Council meeting, I think they're only raising taxes by like 5% or something.
I did watch that.
So that's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you go to those meetings?
I tend to, I don't necessarily go, but I'll definitely, like I always look at the agendas when they come out. They come out on like Friday afternoons, and then I kind of scan them just to see if there's anything that's like speaks to tourism or anything that I want to just kind of hear like what the discussions are. And then they record them. And so then if I can't watch it live, then yes, I try to always catch up on the recording. Follow along with the agenda to where I need to go.
Like it took me like a day or two to like go through it, because I want to now have a little bit more of a background on what's going on before it gets released in those news articles. So that's been fun.
It's interesting. I mean, it really makes you have an appreciation for how much work, like the municipal staff, mayor, council, like that is a big job. Like I can't, just even looking at the agenda. And the amount of reading and everything that goes into that. So,
yeah.
It,
And that's why it's a full-time job,
Yes.
right? So they have to be in the office reading through documents, reading through, propositions and all that. So it's crazy. Let's talk about some events, because you said, you guys help plan events. You talked about a couple of them. Can you expand on those events?
For sure. So we help more promote them. So they'll have local organizations that get together, and then they kind of will come to us. And so our role is to kind of help spread that word, kind of act as a little bit of an extension of their marketing arm. So I think we touched on, so there's the Fort Langley Jazz and Arts Festival.
What do they have there?
So that is all jazz music in Fort Langley, July 20th to 23rd this year. But then there's also art components, and they do an amazing job. Like they have free events and ticketed events, so that there's sort of something for everybody. They have like kids area and artists, and they bring in some like really great, if you're into jazz, or even if you're, it's just a fun day to go and check out during the day or in the evenings when they have the concerts. And they've been putting that on, and it's grown. It started as a one-day event, and now it's like a three-day event. And so that's right in the heart of Fort Langley. Something unique, it's kind of it's huge for Langley, and that's show jumping. So Thunderbird Show Park all summer. I think so many people, if you're driving around Langley, you go past on 248. Like, you cannot miss Thunderbird Show Park. But I don't know how many people actually know. Like, you can buy, I think it's like a $10 ticket to go and watch horse jumping. And it's really, like, it's fun. It's like, and you can do it for an afternoon or just catch a couple, you go there, and it's super competitive. It's international, so riders from all over the world come, and a lot of them will stay at Thunderbird Show Park, like you'll see too. Like there's motorhomes and RVs, and they're all there, and they kind of are there training, and then they do their events and travel around a little bit, and then come back there. So that's a whole summer activity.
Whole summer, every weekend?
So not every weekend, no. It's just different like weekends
Okay.
and days throughout the summer. So, but if you go to their website, it always has, and you can buy your tickets right there on the website. But yeah, I think growing up here as well, you would go to the 𝐏𝐸𝐿, which is kind of like similar area to where it is now, but not, and like you would look down, and that was Thunderbird, like the horse jumping, that you would look, having dinner, and it's like, oh, and there's the horse jumping. So now it's down at 248.
Which
So 𝐏𝐸𝐿, it used to be called, like, it was 𝐏𝐸𝐿 in the country. So the 𝐏𝐸𝐿 in Walnut Grove,
okay.
but it was a different building, and the restaurant was on top, and it was a riding ring down below.
where Colossus or Cineplex
that's right.
is?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
We had Barley Merchant on.
Okay,
He talked about the 𝐏𝐸𝐿 in the country.
Yes.
I mean, that blows my mind. I can't even picture that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I remember that, like growing up.
It's like a big hole,
dinner,
just
a huge riding ring, and so
That's
you had
cool.
a seat at the window, and then there would be everybody like practicing their riding and their show jumping. Yeah, 𝐏𝐸𝐿 in the country, and then that was. But so now it's a huge piece of property out on 248th, and you can go, and it's outdoor seating, or sometimes they do special events, like they have a rosé party, and so everybody puts like their fascinators on and gets all dressed up, and it's like
Derby,
appetizers.
Derby. What's it called? That Derby that happens in the States.
Yes.
Kentucky Derby.
Kentucky Derby.
Yeah,
Yes.
because everyone
Yeah.
all dresses up in like the 1920s
So
styles.
just kind of gets dressed up, and it's just a fun event. So yeah, so they have all of the information would be on their website. Something new that's coming up actually in May 12th to 21st is Langley Craft Beverage Week. So all of the different, so the breweries, the distillery, and the cidery all have a day during that week. It's a little bit longer than a week, but they're calling it a week. And they're all putting on a unique event, as well as the Barley Merchant. So they're included in that as well. So there's something going on, different, like a celebration of craft beverage in Langley. And then on the 20th is when Brewhalla is, which is used to be the Fort Langley Beer and Music, or Beer Festival. So now it's been renamed as Brewhalla. So that's kind of like right in there in the last couple of days. And then all of these individual events at the breweries, the cidery, and the distillery will happen leading up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had Barley Merchant came and
Yes.
talked about that.
Okay.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was just about to check when that date was.
There you go. Yep.
So now we have, we're going to promote this, we're going to promote that, talk about all the events because I don't want to miss that. I'm a newbie when it comes to the craft beer scene, thanks to some cool friends and producers and people always pushing it because I think there's a cult behind craft beer for sure. But
well, we started the Langley Ale Trail. I mean, there's a BC Ale Trail, and now Langley, so Tourism Langley, we have joined as a Langley Ale Trail. So we had so many new breweries come on board.
So many.
That we're like, okay, Langley needs our own. So now we have that. So moving outside of libations, Valley Grand Fondo is happening June 11th. So that starts down like Eagle Acres Farm. And it's riders, so there's different lengths, but they do a Grand Fondo that goes all the way out towards 𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐿. So it's the Prospera Valley Grand Fondo. And, Applewood Grand Fondo. Applewood.
So what is that exactly?
So that's like bike riding. So different distances.
Okay.
So you can do like a family.
Nice.
Or like competitive riders. Actually, George from Sky Helicopters, I saw him there last year. So
nice.
yeah, they compete in the different lengths, and it's got like sort of the start and the finish, and then they have different events and things going on there. But yeah, so that's a huge group of riders. Biking in Langley is huge. Like if you go into Fort Langley, it's like on a weekend, it's just full of bike riders. They love to like kind of ride out on the side.
Yeah, no, it's biking is a great way to exercise, but also take in the scenery because I've talked about it on here, and like I've recently got into running, and when you're running, you're not taking in the scenery.
No.
You're struggling. You're in your head just get there. But when you're riding, you feel like you can peek over your shoulder a little bit here and there. You cover more distance. Yeah. You get past those windy roads that you can't really go running up and down. So that's cool. That's a cool event for the family.
Okay, what else? So two events that happened last year for the first year. One is the 7 Generations Cup, which is an Indigenous skateboarding event. And so it's coming back for its second year at the event center. And you can buy tickets to watch that. So there's all sorts of, like, they do incredible with all, like, the Indigenous art on some of the ramps and things like that. Then there's also, like, artisan market. But yeah, so last year, it was a huge success last year. a really popular event and something just really different for Langley. And then also last year was the first Stalu powwow that happened in September, and that is coming back again September 15th to 17th this year as well. So if anybody is ever, wants to see a powwow, that's exactly what it's for, is for the public to come and watch all of the dancing and the celebration. And yeah.
I'll never forget just going to, it was just a field trip in elementary school. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure we went to the fort for one, and another one out in Abbotsford. But it's just the powwow and hearing that's the way they sing those songs. I still remember that. It's ingrained in the back of my head. And now every time I hear one of those songs playing, somebody's backgrounds, I don't know, just in the background of anything, it literally gives me goosebumps because it's so powerful and it's so inspiring almost.
Yeah, it was amazing to see. I mean, and over a couple of days. And so definitely recommend if it's at the event center and to drop by for the day or for the afternoon, and they'll put up the schedule of events as well, so you can kind of see. And their website is also really good for people to understand and learn. Like people, if they're curious about what a powwow is, it's all really well laid out on their website.
Yeah, I think that's an important event for sure.
Oh my goodness, what there's so much. Ribfest has been coming to Langley for a while.
I love Ribfest.
So our office is close by. It smells so good. And
you got lunch there.
I
guess
lunch,
it's on the weekend, but
it's
Friday.
on the weekend, but we usually go and set up there. Yeah, that's sometimes what we'll do is we have a 1970s bowler trailer that's all in our, and so we take it and do visitor information and help people okay, you're here, what else there is to do, and so we answer questions about what else is going on.
Oh, cool.
Two other big ones this fall, the Cruisin'.
Yep.
So that's out in Aldergrove, and that is just it shuts down the road. And
who plans that, by the way?
So it's a volunteer group that have been running it for a long time.
I would love to have them on.
Yes. Okay.
Good memories from there.
Yes.
When it was downtown Langley, I used to live down there. We just walked down there. It was just it was always
cars
great.
as far as you can see.
Yeah.
And they're it's so interesting. Everybody, they're so passionate about their cars, and so you can spend an entire day just looking and talking to people. And then it's not guaranteed that this year, but historically they've brought In-N-Out Burger in, which is almost as equal. So yeah, if it's one chance if you've never had an In-N-Out burger, you got to line up really early.
Oh, I bet.
And then another fall event that's super popular is the Cranberry Festival. So that's October 8th this year. Same thing in Fort Langley. So just celebrates harvest and.
And Fort Langley also has that night market
I
every
was going to
single
say,
weekend for
we go there as well.
Summer.
Yeah.
How long is that?
So this year they're going to run it through July and August. So
it was
Friday
so
nights,
hot last year.
But so good. Such a sense of community. I would go there and again, growing up here, I'm oh, there's someone I knew from grade 7, and there's someone from high school, and you just sit, and the food trucks and live music and the artisans. Yeah, it's a great way to spend a Friday. We'd go in with friends and just hang out.
Yeah, we went to see Chad Brownlee.
Oh, yes.
So saw him live back in 2015, and now, so that was a different stage in my life.
Yes.
At the Calgary Stampede.
Okay. Yep.
So you can tell. And then now for this stage in my life, with I guess my daughter was about 3 months or 2 months at the time. Brought her to her first music event.
That's a good first music event.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. It was a beautiful day. We sat down in the field there, grabbed some craft beers, grabbed some food from the food trucks, and had a picnic while we listened to Chad Brownlee.
Yeah.
So it was
how much better, and local. He's from Langley.
Yeah.
And Del Smith from Langley as well.
Yeah, I didn't see. Did he come last year?
No, I don't think he and Chad Brownlee used to do. I don't think they're doing it anymore. But at Redwoods Golf Course, they would do their charity golf event and then put on a little concert together. So. We were part of that before 2019.
Interesting.
But
yeah, no, that's always fun.
Yeah.
But
Bubbles.
I've been working away at this because it was a little bit harder to get into. But something that we do have a lot of in Langley, and something again that I found out about recently, where we have so many wineries in Langley that they even have a bunch of tours.
Yep.
There's companies that do wine tours.
That is right.
And I was thinking, okay, to go on a wine tour, you might have to go to the 𝐏𝐻𝐸𝐴𝐺 or something like that. But you have one literally here that you can start off. Do you know anything about that one?
I do. So, there's a few.
Oh, I didn't know that was going to pop. It scared me.
There is one company called Beyond Bubbles.
Yeah.
And so she will pick you up or group up locally. And then you can do a customized tour, or she has ones that are set, and then you don't have to worry about driving, and she takes care of everything and gives you the information and sets up and makes all of the reservations. Really a great afternoon activity. So yes, you can do them on their own, but that's one local company and then there's others that will start from Vancouver. But Mary does a great job at like, that's kind of, she noted that there was something kind of missing in the market, was like, well, what about the people who live out here but still want to do a wine tour and aren't necessarily coming from Vancouver? So she does a really good job.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. And I was actually just mentioning too, to start setting up, maybe there's some sort of craft beer tour.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I think there's been talk about it for sure. So there's used to be like the Langley Loop, which is now kind of expanded and like is moving into this whole like Langley Craft Beverage Week. But I know there has been talk about
or is that all over?
No, yeah. So there's like the BC Ale Trail, which is like the umbrella of everything, of all of the ale trails, and then thank you. And then there's individual trails, which of Langley has one of those. So yeah. So but I think a lot of people are surprised that. Like they grow grapes. Like Township 7 makes a sparkling that is all Fraser Valley grapes. And we, in the region, like the terroir is meant to be white. We don't really do red. Those come from the Okanagan.
Yeah, okay.
It's good.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that. Because I was always thinking you have to go all the way to the Okanagan. My dream, my like retirement dream is to own a winery, retire on the winery or a vineyard and drink wine all day. But
that
also
sounds
work,
good.
You know? Keeps you busy, not just drunk.
Yeah, no, the wineries in Langley are fantastic. Like you do a tasting, they're like you can like see the grapes that are growing on the vines and
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. I've dabbled in winemaking just out of my garage. It's a lot of work.
So just let them do it for you, and you go and enjoy.
Exactly, but it's fun knowing the process. That's huge.
Yes, and that's the thing too is that some of the wineries like Backyard Wine, there's like you can sign up where you can actually like have a tasting and see a little bit of the process, talk to the winemaker. Most of them all have like little bites that you can like have to eat. Chaberton, now that's the original first winery, and the story goes that the original owners. So they were from the south of France, and they recognized that the soil in that particular area of Langley was very much like what they had seen in the south of France that was great at growing grapes. So they're like, well, let's try it. And now here we are with like 9+ wineries of like all different varieties are here in the township of Langley.
I didn't know that. Well, shout out to Chaberton because now you've inspired all of these wineries to come here, these vineyards.
And they've got a beautiful bistro as well.
Oh, so good. Yeah. I go there every year to get my clients Christmas gifts. So I buy too many cases of wine, like 10 cases. So that adds up.
Yeah.
But they have the best red and white blend, right? So super cost effective and also actually compared to other, wineries, not to bash anybody, but they definitely hold their ground with the specialty grapes and the other wineries.
Yeah, they definitely know. But it's been great to see the expansion of more of them and beautiful settings and a nice way to spend an afternoon.
Yeah, and it brings a lot towards the what's it called? What would you call that? Like the wedding scene.
Yes.
Where you have those rentable vineyards for wedding events, and that's just another layer.
Yeah, exactly. There's one of the newer ones, 𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐚 Winery. So they do a fruit wine right now, but the most beautiful, like that's what they kind of specialize in, is weddings that happen on their property, and it's gorgeous.
If any wineries or vineyards are watching this, I think a good idea, because I've done it, we're talking about doing sky helicopters related events. And one thing that I did for my engagement proposal, it was we did a helicopter tour. And it landed on the vineyard, a winery, in See You Later Ranch in Okanagan.
Up in the Okanagan.
And it literally just, everybody who was there stops and they're like, who is that? Why are they landing in a helicopter?
Yes.
Right? And then afterwards, and the staff also like treats you a little bit different. Just because, oh my God, like you bring in the helicopter here, you're helping expose our business with, the branding and everything.
Yeah.
And then you get your leftovers, get on the helicopter, they take you to a mountaintop.
Yes.
So you can finish your leftovers, finish the wines that you bought. And that's where I proposed, top of 𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐚 Bluffs. It was a crazy setting. Had a little bit too many samplers at that point, but it still, it was worth it. It helped with the jitters.
Yes,
so,
there you go.
So no, that was an amazing experience, and I think any winery has the opportunity to do that.
To do it,
genius.
Yes, agree. Sky helicopters are amazing.
Yeah, they could collab or figure something out.
Yeah.
But let's not let this food go to waste. we've had pizza on this show before,
Right.
and nothing like this though, because we've had actually like pizza restaurants that only
Right.
make pizza,
Okay.
and we got this from. Where did you?
So Blacksmith Bakery
Okay.
they do pizza on 200th and in Fort Langley because they have 3 locations in Langley. And they've got the great oven that makes that amazing crust. So this is bee sting, which is like a spicy meat. And there's peppers on there, and then a touch of honey is drizzled on, like kind of I guess for the sweet and the spicy. And then that one I go is my daughter's favorite is the Mexican street corn. And so it's like red onions, corn, and like a cool sauce on there.
Yeah, pickled onions are on everything now.
Yeah, very popular.
And so there's 3 locations.
Yes.
The third is a secret location we do not disclose because we don't want that to get busy. But everyone knows Fort Langley. Everyone
Yep.
knows Willoughby
Yep.
now. It's at Latimer Heights.
Yes.
Always busy,
Yes.
of course. And the third one, if you want to know about that one, reach out to Tourism Langley because I'm not going to say anything.
All
So
right.
let's dig into
It's our
this.
secret.
Yeah, let's dig into this. And
Okay.
you got some treats, so we're gonna have
Yeah, of
everything.
course. This is what they originally like Blacksmith Bakery.
Yeah.
How could I not? This is my personal favorite. I mean, how do you pick a favorite? It's like a favorite child, but this is the 𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐸. It's kind of like a mix between a cinnamon bun and a croissant. And then they also are for like their Victoria sponge and then their truly chocolate cake.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Okay, I'll try this
So
one.
let's take a tester of each.
Yeah.
Give your critical review. Maybe we'll put them out of business.
That one chicken as well, right? Yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, my taste buds are a little bit messed up right
Oh.
now, but I
Okay.
can still feel the overpowering amount of onion, which is good though.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect amount.
Yeah, this is good too. It's like that is a spicy.
And then the and the corn adds that little.
yeah, just like a crunch, little.
I feel like the same
different.
argument for pineapple could be made
Yes.
on corn.
Okay, yeah, probably.
But I like pineapple.
I
on
like
pizza.
pineapple too on pizza, so yeah, no, this is good. Some jalapenos.
That's another one for the pineapple on pizza tally.
Yeah, this is really good.
I think this is going to become a show about what do you prefer, pineapple on pizza
yeah, there you go.
or
You're
or
allowed
to
on
have no
if-
soul? Because it's one or the other. You can't have
Right?
both.
It's like this. It's like the honey. Like who would think of honey on pizza? But it's just like a touch of sweetness, and then I guess it had like balance out the spices.
Yeah, why not? Try everything on everything. I was going to get into something, but I'm not. I'm going to wait on that one. But yeah, get creative. Because hey, you're going to have pineapple on other foods, so why are you just, saying no to the pizza? That's that's hypocritical, I think. Stop being a hypocrite. Eat pineapple on everything and try it and enjoy it and don't argue with people who don't. That's really good.
Okay, it's very good.
Go finish that.
Okay.
I'm gonna get into that one. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of tacos.
Me
it's
too.
My go-to usually. This is really good. You can definitely get the Mexican flavor out of that.
Yeah. Okay. Fun fact: tacos. So 𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐸, the restaurant bistro in. Oh, you're good.
I hope so. That's sitting there now.
There you go. 𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐸 Bistro in Fort Langley. On Wednesdays, they started doing tacos, margarita flights, and live music. Amazing. So fun.
On Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays.
What
yeah.
time?
𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐸. I think you can make it. So you just make a reservation. I think when they open, say like maybe right from 5 onwards. I highly you would need a reservation. It's super popular. But I went with some girlfriends. Really fun night. So yeah, tacos, margaritas, and live music. And it's musician is like someone that again I knew from growing up, and as a local resident. So yeah, really good. The Barley Merchant does great tacos too. That's 𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐸 also very good tacos.
Yes, and that's another. Fort Langley is like you got to pick your days
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
like every time I go there, if it's on a weekend for sure, no chance. Like
Yes.
line up out the door. Weekday nights though, a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Such
now
an
they've got
attraction,
𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐸's got
though.
the 2 restaurants there now, and on this Rail and River Bistro down like by the fort. There's the Fort Pub, Rail and River Bistro. They've just opened up wood oven pizzas as well. Yeah. So it's like a little window there. Okay, what do you think of bee sting?
This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Not yet.
too bad.
I mean, I had a little bit of the
Okay.
jalapeno,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is just traditional pizza.
Yeah.
The crust is a little bit thicker, but it's not too thick. I hate thick crust.
Yeah, I agree.
Hate it.
Yeah.
and a lot of people that do it, you need to stop.
Thin crust all the way. Thin to medium.
The thin. This is a medium. The thin. We get some from our friends at Parody. So then there's the crust that's very pita-like. I want to say more bubbly.
Yeah.
So that one's not bad either. But I find that one doesn't hold the pizza together. It kind of just crumbles.
You can really only have like 2 ingredients on those super thin ones. Like a lot of people, I think, have got those like now like the ovens that you just put in your backyard, like the gas ones. And I think like my brother's got one and same, like amazing, but like less is more. Otherwise the crust is just like whoop.
Yeah, it just falls apart. Yeah. Both really good. Really good.
I just had that one the other night. That was the first time I'd had it.
Impressed with there's still some dry pieces over there. If you want some.
Good.
I hope. My laptop's okay. Okay, let's get into dessert.
Okay.
Before we wrap things up.
Okay.
So what did you say?
You pick because I've had it all.
You've had it all? Well, it sucks because we don't have, we might have to just look at them.
Yeah.
Because I need
and then we'll
fork.
cut it.
We'll have to get a fork. Yeah. That's fine.
But
that one looks good. That one looks good. I'm a big chocolate fan.
Okay, then for sure.
Chocolate is my go-to.
They do.
I am addicted to it. Yeah. So
chocolate and peanut butter. That's my weakness.
That's chocolate and peanut butter?
No, but chocolate and peanut butter would be my go-to.
Okay, explain them to me.
Okay, so 𝐏𝐸𝐴𝐺, which is like the croissant, and it's sort of like a cross between, and like, these are my words, but a croissant and a cinnamon bun.
Oh, well, like that. And
really,
what do they
really
do with
good.
the croissants, though, at
Okay,
Blacksmith?
so the croissants are made like the traditional, as they should be made, and it's like a 5-day process.
Wow.
So they start it, so when you go and buy the croissant, which obviously you're buying it, or they only sell it fresh, that whole process started 5 days ago with everything that they do to make it before it looks like that. So that, which I understand is like the traditional way as they should be. Victoria sponge, so it's just like vanilla with a raspberry center. And then, they have they have a Guinness chocolate. This is their regular, everything they do there is very, very good.
Yeah, no, it's usually super rich, filling.
Yeah.
Like, you go there, people go there for lunch, and it's like, that you can't have lunch and dessert.
No.
That's like a dinner dessert. You got to take that home.
Yes, you got to share. So like
so
share
sharing
lunch
dessert.
and then share dessert.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the way
But
to
these
do
are
it.
also really good to take home because if you want to take your time, spread everything out, they're good for a couple days.
Nice brunch. Mother's Day is coming up. Father's Day is coming up.
Yeah, I like what they've done there in that little plaza that they built.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there in the summer when everybody's got their
Agreed.
patios open.
Yeah.
You know, people are probably either living there or coming to visit, and everyone's mingling.
Yeah.
Like, we need a lot more of that in Langley, I think. Like it's very
that whole community,
for Langley.
right? Getting together and just meeting
missing
your neighbor.
I hope nobody tries to swim in that pond.
In the
though.
pond.
I thought it was like, it's a mini lake. The way they had it at that presentation center. It looks like a beautiful pond. I'm like, cool. Maybe you can swim in there.
Don't think I would recommend.
I don't think so.
No, just enjoy.
Yeah, just as a
looking at it.
Yeah. Awesome. So you talked about some of the events. Do you have anything coming up that you want to promote?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I think we've gone through. I mean, I would say, if you don't follow Tourism Langley on social media, we hear from so many people who they don't and then they do. So it's like at Tourism Langley, or our website is tourism-langley.ca. So we do a calendar of events where you can check and see what is going on, and then we post on social media, of course, like anything that's going on. And we hear from so many people all the time that say it's an incredible resource, even if they live here or if they're visiting, that it just helps them kind of plan out what there is to do and see and know what's going on all in one spot.
Okay.
And then anything we're working on is all shared there as well. Actually, it's good. It's Tourism Week this week. So
cool.
right now on our social feed, we've gone out and talked to a bunch of the different our stakeholders and businesses and just talked to them about why tourism is important to them and the difference that it makes in their business. So that's been kind of cool.
Wow. Okay. That's fun. So you guys have a calendar.
Yep.
So we missed that. Okay, hold on.
Okay, so it's on our website.
Okay, because that is. There's times where even doing this podcast, I Sunday morning, family day.
Right.
What are we doing today?
Yep.
So now I can go on Tourism Langley.
Yep.
Check what's going on that day.
Yeah, and we the events as far. So I mean, we've got everything into the fall that we know that's going on.
Yeah.
And like I say, and it's from everything from just a small event happening at one business, like whether somebody's hosting tons the music nights and things like that, to a big community event. It's all there. If we know about it, it's there. And the community too, if they've got events that are, we would say it's kind of needs to be geared at attracting someone from outside of Langley, ideally, to come in. If something going on, then they can can submit it onto our calendar.
Oh, okay. Funny. Now, something that we always talk about on this podcast is like ideas, right? Because my background is in marketing. I always get the juices flowing, especially after some sparkling wine. Have you guys created a downloadable calendar that goes onto Google or something like that?
We have
Or
not
Apple?
exactly. We are actually, though, in the process of making some changes to our website, which that may be something. And then I know, like, through Google, you can, like, put a certain number of events on there. So right now, everything lives in one spot on our website. But
Easy enough,
apps and tourism apps, it's definitely something that's been on our radar.
Yeah, because like me recently getting into organizing my life,
Right.
I've started using more of the Google Calendar.
Yes.
Just okay, you got this happening today every day. Remind me that there's date night because otherwise I'll forget.
Yeah.
Every week, it's stupid, but family day, Sunday morning.
Yes.
Don't book anything.
Yes.
So having that pop up, like, hey, by the way, today there's an event at this winery. They have this and that.
Yeah.
If you're free and you're talking with friends, like, oh, what should we do tonight?
Them,
Boom,
right?
It comes up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like,
that's a great idea.
it's I just thought of it
Yeah,
because
I
otherwise,
like that.
marketing-wise, you just use social media and you post everything
social
on
media,
websites.
our website, and then we create like it's called What's Happening,
Okay.
and we send that out to the hotels and different, like some of the big attractions who are getting people coming up to their front desk and being like, okay, hey, I'm here for a couple of days, or I'm here for a week, or what is there to do? And then they've got kind of that resource. It's just like a short window. It's a printed copy, and it's goes on like a double-sided. So whatever kind of fits
Do you have
within
like
that.
a digital newsletter?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yep.
So I can sign up for
Yep,
that, and
exactly.
I can weekly,
Yep.
daily.
We kind of depends on what's going on. So we
Right.
do one for businesses that's monthly, and then kind of around whenever what's happening. So
Okay.
if there's lots going on, then it goes out more frequently.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely try to go on both of those because, like I said, I'm super unorganized when it comes to doing things for fun. Always work, and I feel like a lot of people are like that. So,
Well, and I think too, and just like not. I mean, it's big, like we were talking about, and there's a lot going on, and I think we always say like people who live here, visit here, like there's lots going on, and so we take that work off of your plate, and we investigate and make it available.
yes, and I appreciate you for doing that for people like me, so we can still enjoy family time.
That's right.
So thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having
I
me.
hope there's some value for you from this, and that we can help cross promote on all these channels. The podcast is growing, so I hope that everybody who gets involved also grows with it. And so thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe. If you have any questions for Erin, message her on Tourism Langley, or comment down below if there's any questions that you wish I asked, so I can pass that on to her. If you haven't already, like I said, subscribe, you can click right here. Make videos like this every single week. And then if you are still bored and you want to look at more videos, click right here, because YouTube knows what you're wanting to watch next. And I promise it's not just my videos, but it could be my videos. So click right here for those. Hope you guys are doing great. See you guys on the next one.